Ranjit, welcome for joining this call. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. I
Thank you.
really appreciate your presence. And reason being, you know that already we are here today. That we few months back, few weeks back, we were into the beautiful workshop known as Homecoming, hosted by Saloni. Right? You all know that. So my objective of this conversation was often we forget the energy we carry it from such a sacred places, or whenever we go into the workshop or the training, we forget, and slowly that vibe fades away. I just wanted to somehow continue it with your presence, so that's why I've invited you. You are one of the participants. I was there. We had a beautiful conversation there. So I just this conversation is purely to, yeah.
Video is getting stuck.
Okay. How is it now? Is it better?
Yeah, now it is back. Yeah.
Okay. So this conversation is primarily to see what's really unfolded for you. So first of all, thank you very much for joining. That is number one. Number two is I want you to introduce yourself, and then I'll be asking you the questions. So why don't you tell who are you basically in your own version?
Yeah. See, I'm Ranjit Nair, and few weeks back, it's like 4 5 weeks back. I used to call myself as a life coach for leaders, and I was coaching leaders. But something phenomenally happened, which we will discuss to some extent in this discussion. In the last 4 5 weeks, that I no more call myself as a life coach or a leadership coach. I call myself as a spiritual coach. And why I call myself as a spiritual coach, because my intention is only one, which is to bring people close to their true self, help them to come to themselves. And then whatever they do in their life, they operate from that space and then they move in their life. So that's essentially the intention, and I won't say purpose, but that's the essence of how I want to live going forward. So that's why I call myself as a spiritual coach now. So that's how I will introduce myself, Kapil.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. And so Saloni has named this retreat for all the coaches as homecoming. And what does it really mean to you, basically, when you hear this word, or now, what does it really signifies to you when you hear this homecoming?
Yeah. So it's interesting because when I came to this retreat, Kapil, there was only one intention with which I came, because I was not clear on what I will be receiving or what I will be getting through this retreat. The only intention was because Saloni has been always special to me, and so I've always wanted to be there when she is creating her first spiritual retreat or first retreat. From a spiritual essence perspective, so I always envisioned myself there around her when she would be doing it. So that's predominantly or primarily the reason why I came to that retreat. Uh, but to your question, like what it has meant for me, oh, it is significant because I truly found my home through this retreat. And why I say I truly found my home is I will try to elaborate more. Like, see, what happens in life is majority of us experience the gross life. Gross life is the physical life that we are living, that we are doing, that we are experiencing. But very few of us are actually experiencing the energetic life which is behind this gross life. The whole idea of having this energetic life is which thrives and drives the gross life, if these two lives are connected. But for majority of us, the gross life is very detached from the inner energetic life. So since I have been into deeper journey for the last 3 4 years, I am connected to the energetic life. And coming back to that whole question, when I say that I have reached home through this retreat in this 5 days, what I mean is like I was very desperately, I was always thinking why I am experiencing in the energy world what I am experiencing.
Mhm.
And through this retreat, I got to know or get got the answer of it. And why I say I reached home, because I reached to my parents in the energetic world, which is I got to know that I am Karthikeyan in the energy world. That's what I'm representing here as the physical gross that you see. And in the energetic world, my parents are, my father is Shiva and my mother is Parvati. So that's why I feel like it's like coming home. It's like really stepping into the home, knowing your father and mother. Because till that point of time, I was not very clear why I'm experiencing what I'm experiencing for the last 3 4 years. So yeah, so it's literally that big for me. Is like someone literally finding his parents after so long. It feels like that. So it's like coming home for me. Yeah. So that's the, I would say, the essence and the significance of the retreat and what I got through this retreat.
Yeah, this is so deep and beautiful, and I'm sure you will witness more of this energy again and again, even when you are not in the retreat now.
I am that energy now, Kapil. I
Yeah.
am that energy. Yeah, yeah. I am very well that energy. And that energy will not leave me because, like, as you know, the masculine of mine is my father right now, Shiva. And the feminine is Parvati right now. So they will never leave me. That's there with me. And the whole intention of me being here is to represent them through my body.
Mm, mm.
Yeah. So there is no question about they leaving or I going anywhere.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And it was so fascinating. I wanted to share something interesting. When we were into the workshop, it was a conscious connected breath work by Urmi.
Uh,
Uh, and during that, I think you were next to me. And then I was into that state of breathing and all. And I was like, I think crying or there's something getting released through me. And then in between, I've seen some murmuring happening. Somebody's talking to someone. I said, is this over? I don't know. Let me continue. And I was like, मेरे को सेंस आ रहा था कि कोई खड़ा हो गया है या मतलब कुछ तो यहाँ पर चल रहा है डिफरेंट.
it was me. Yeah, yeah.
Made me curious. That made me curious. What really happened to Ranjit? I think in the night that day I connected with you and asked you what happened, Ranjit. Like, did you left the connected breath work, or what really happened? And that time I think you revealed me something phenomenal, and my mind was blew away. And what you just said is that presence of that energy, what you felt in that moment during that conscious connected breath work was amazing,
Yeah, yeah. It
right?
was cool. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that energy. So I remember I asked you this beautiful question: how do you really talk? Because my understanding of this is, I mean, again, my little mind is trying to comprehend, but my understanding is that you will get a thought anyway. It's a thought. Energy gets strong, and then you said something beautiful. So would you like to tell something about how do you really communicate and how do you really say and talk? Oh, this energy is signifies my masculine power or father or mother, and I am the Karthikeyan. Would you like to create
Yeah,
that relationship? How do you really draw that relationship?
yeah. See, it's a wonderful question, and I've never, I don't remember I've answered it to anyone. See, when 2019, as I say that when that awakening happened to me, when I was kind of, I briefly told you, isn't it? Like when I was shifted from the gross world of experiencing, like we all experience the outer world more, correct? The outer experiences, and shifting or bringing that inner shift to start experiencing the inner world all of a sudden. So what happened was, Kapil, like I only had one thing which I was experiencing, which was sensation. I was not experiencing anything else because I was fully inner. I was not experiencing anything outside. And what I was experiencing was sensation. And that was the only thing for me to connect to various things. So when I started connecting, and sensation is nothing like an electric impulse, you know that, like it's like a tingling. It's nothing more than that. So when I connected to that, that sensation, which I now realize was a divine energy which was guiding me, which was a divine energy, which was that time I only saw it as a sensation. And what happened was that divine energy brought me in touch with all the dimensions, be it thoughts, be it feelings, be it emotions, be it energy itself, or be it consciousness, in the form, in the two forms. One, it's feeling. I was feeling all of them. But the second thing is it brought me in a sense with energy form of all these things. Because the way it was happening is like I could feel, like you feel the net of a cricket net, like that I could feel the energy. And I could very well say that, oh, this is a thought, because I could very well connect to that energy and say this is a thought. Similarly, I could connect to that energy and say this is an emotion, because it has a very different texture, which has a different feeling to it. And I know this texture is for a feeling, which is not an emotion, but just a feeling which is coming from the body. So what has happened is, my through this energy, divine energy, my resonance and connect with the energy, it has grown. And because of that, what I you started understanding the language of all these dimensions, be it emotion, be it feeling, be it thoughts. And you would be surprised too, and I'm sure I would have shared that, you would be surprised, they just talk like humans. Like someone sharing it, your son coming and sharing something, if you are right, truly present with energy, it will just share like someone, like a human is sharing to them. Similarly, thoughts are like that, they will come and tell you what exactly is there in it. So that is the beauty, that they exactly talk like humans, all these energies. It's like feeling, which is stored as a story within. The moment you're present to that, it will start sharing what is it, and slowly it will start dissolving or unraveling, and slowly resolving and dissolving. But they share in similar way, like we humans talk. So that is how it is. And once I got to know their language, I clearly got to know, like this bus is Mercedes bus. You can know. Like that, I know this energy is Shiva's energy. Like, this is an ambassador car, because something in your sense has overall evolved, and now you can relate it. Now I know this is a goddess energy which is coming to me. You're getting it? So that's how my relation with energy grew. And I can now very easily understand whose energy is coming. Like if I am talking to Mother Earth's energy, I know exactly I am being surrounded by Mother Earth's energy. So it's like in the outside world, how we look at this is a Ashok Leyland bus, or this is a Mercedes car, like that, I can understand whose energy is this, which is trying to channelize through me at this moment.
This is a very clear way of this, clearly defined. You have clearly defined, and there is no way human mind can comprehend it unless you experience it. And I'm sure you have experienced it. That is why I can see a clear cut conviction in your voice, in your energy. This is it. There's no other. I am the child of the God, and that too I am Karthikeyan. And now that lead, I'm curious to know, but the same question I think you have just asked some time back was, why not you see yourself as a Ganesha?
Yeah, that's a beautiful question which my wife asked me.
Yeah.
And see, these are all energy. First of all, you have to understand that the way we experience Shiva or Krishna or Narayan and Vishnu, They are all energy forms. Okay, they take forms in physical and gross world, but truly they are energy forms. Okay, they are energy forms, and they all have a certain type of energy or speciality of energy within them. Like, for suppose, if I take Narayanan, the whole energy is to create that balance.
Mm.
That is where Narayanan's energy comes in, or when I say Narayanan, Vishnu's energy comes in. Okay, so it's like that. When we consider Shiva's energy, it is gross energy. It is really gross energy. It is meant to exist in this worldly life.
And,
That
and,
is
and when and when you say gross, is it like heavy? You feel that heaviness in gross? Like,
no,
how do you
gross
describe it?
means it is meant to live in the intricacies of the actual life, not
Mm.
just like Narayanan who will come only for a moment or only for a lifetime and create that balance and will go away. Nahin.
Mm. Mm.
Shiva's energy is meant to live through the intricacies and the complications of the human life.
Mm. Omnipresent, can I say that? It's omnipresent?
See, omnipresent they all are because they all are part of the greater consciousness. They are
Yeah.
all omnipresent. But the
Mm.
way they descend to
Mm.
our experience is very different.
Mm.
You're getting it? They are all omnipresent. They are all part of the greater consciousness. But the way they descend, so take an example like if at a home, if I take a home, Narayanan's energy will come in your home just to make sure that Kapil, every aspect of Kapil is balanced and then it will go away.
Mm.
But Shiva's energy will come and make sure that every complications of life, his energy is there to support you. And the more complicated it is, more there will be support because that's what is Shiva's. So it will be continuously there with you, living through all your intricacies and complexities of life.
Mm.
That's why I say it is very raw and gross energy. So it
Mm.
will be with all the intricacies and complexities of life.
Mm.
So just give you a glimpse of it. It's like that. When you say Karthikeyan's energy for someone like Shiva and Parvati, what is Karthikeyan for them is heart. There is no one for them who is stronger in heart than Karthikeyan.
Mm.
Karthikeyan is, he's the war leader. If everyone who in the war, they revere Karthikeyan. So
Mm.
he's someone. His energy is someone who operates like who creates that whole creation of war or whatever happens through the heart, through the strength of his heart.
Mm.
And that's why he is the most strongest in heart of all the four people in the family. But when it comes to Ganesha is pure consciousness, intelligence.
Mm.
It's pure consciousness. So you will not see Ganesha descending in the life and living a life form. You will see Ganesha descending as consciousness and intelligence and blessing and auspiciousness in various ways. But Ganesha will never descend as a life down.
Mm.
But Karthikeyan, since he is a heart centered, he's heart driven, he descends as a life. So that's the difference between for Shiva energy or Shiva and Parvati, the difference between Ganesha and Karthikeyan. Okay. So the Ganesha is pure consciousness, pure intelligence, pure access to the universal intelligence, Ganesha, and auspiciousness. These are all energies that Ganesha represents. So the Ganesha might come for you when something auspicious is there and then will go away, blessing you with that auspicious energy of his. That's the role of Ganesha. But never descend in a life form.
Mm.
So that is what I gave an idea. Like when my wife said, "Why not Ganesha and why Karthikeyan?" I said, "You can ask this question to your son. Why not you are Meera? My daughter's name is Meera and my son's. So if you ask Dhruv why you are not Meera, it's like that. But
Mm.
reason of descending in this because uh, his Karthikeyan descends in a life form, but Ganesha always descends in the form of consciousness."
Mm. This is so beautiful indeed. Thank you for explaining me this.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Moving on, Ranjit, about this retreat, this 5 days together, we had done multiple work as a partner also, and as a neighboring partner also. So, if you have to take one wisdom or one realization you carried from that entire retreat, what that would look like for you?
Yeah, yeah. So see, one word that comes to me for what I take from my retreat. Obviously, when I was in retreat, I told the one word is rebirth. Uh, Rebirth, because obviously I got to know where I origin from. What's my Mooladhar, my dhar, correct? Adhar. I got to
Mm,
know. That's why I say it's rebirth. But what I feel now, what I see right now, the one word is creation. And why I say creation, Kapil, is because, you know, till the retreat, before the retreat, it's not that I was not connected to divine or I was not connected to energy.
yeah.
I was connected to the energy, but the way I will give the analogy, like I was behind the mountain.
Mm,
I was behind the mountain. But after the retreat, when all these energies descended on me and I kind of became the container of this energy, I started realizing mountain is my creation.
mm,
That is the shift I have seen.
mm,
What the energy I see in me now is the energy of creation.
mm,
Right? So that's the way I see myself. It's the energy of creation I see. So from someone who was behind the mountain, correct? Unknown of the potential, unknown of the uh, expansiveness and vastness and power and strength and whatnot you say, unknown of that, now sees this mountain behind which I am is my own creation. So that is the creative power that I experience right now.
mm.
So it's creation. That's one word which comes to
Mm,
me right now.
mm. Rebirth to creation.
Rebirth, because as I said, like I could come back to who I belong to. But the
Mm,
moment I came back to that, obviously all that energy of my mother and father descended on me and integrated with me. And it continues to integrate, and throughout this lifetime, it will integrate in different ways.
yeah.
Uh, but what I see myself as a power of creation now.
Mm. This is so beautiful realization, but you had. Thank you for sharing this intricacy. I'm sure you have not shared with anyone else.
Oh, no, no, no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you are
this is
sharing it.
like all the things which I experience, because I, as I said, life moves very fast for me, with all the energies descending in me. So it's something which I experience, I record for myself and all that thing. But it's very rare, correct? Because there are so many things that happens in life in general. Like if you consider your life, you will not share everything. It's like
Mm,
that with the energy world for me. So many things keep happening every moment. uh, I record it, but you rarely share anything other than having such discussions.
yes, yes, and that's the whole purpose. I wanted to see what's unique for each individual, and it's so beautiful. Everyone has a very very different experience, same environment, everything is same, but each individual is carrying, taking away something very very unique, which based on who they are in the moment, right? And this is what you carried. Now, coming back to the very practical question, I'm not saying all these were not practical, but let's say somebody is watching you here and trying to understand what is this homecoming, what are the spiritual talks, energy talk these guys are doing. So what what's your experience beyond this energy work, beyond these realizations? What's your overall experience? If you can give me some 2 3 lines or 4 5 points, how do you see this as a this work also for you and also for the coaches, because this workshop was primarily focused for coaches, right? And I see it's known as coaching mastery, but I see it as self mastery. I mean, like coaches is like just a name here, but it's more about self, right? Self work. And I see this out of the word experience. Now, what's your experience basically for you overall beyond this energy work, and also for the coaches like me and other 10, 11 people who are with us?
Yeah, yeah. See, as I said, it's all to do with the gross world, whatever energy that I experience. And as I said, as you would have experienced, this retreat has different meaning for different people,
Yeah.
because the way you present yourself is what you become, or what comes out of you. And for me, like when I say this all energy, see, two things I want to share. First is what generally happens, Kapil, is that people focus on things and then focus on themselves. And this is the truth.
Mm,
Like, for suppose you want to do coaching, and then you will build yourself for coaching.
mm,
And it's just truth the same.
mm,
The reality of life is how life is to be lived is you first connect to yourself, and through that yourself, whatever is coming out is your future,
yeah.
is your present and future.
Mm,
What it means is, in that case, the entire universe that you are, the energy or whatever you call the consciousness, is all behind you to create that for you.
yeah.
Else, otherwise, in the former, you're chasing things, which
Mm,
is very energy draining. Here, it's natural. The entire universe is supporting behind you in order to create that. So that's the first thing when it comes to energy or inner dimension.
mm, mm,
For me, in the gross world, in this physical world, see, the way it will change, or it has changed, is first is my presence.
mm,
For my clients, I am like a container now.
yeah.
It's like an energy container. The moment they are in the presence of mind, they get to experience their own self, which is not so easy for them because they are with so many layers there through their karmas, so many layers. But the moment they come in there in this container, they get to experience their true self, which is beneath these all these layers of karma. So that's one thing which helps me in coaching and obviously helps my clients. That's the reality. The second thing is, see, when this whole universe is supporting you, it guides you into what's your reality. Like, simple example, I'm writing a book for myself of this last 4 years of my journey, from moving from IT to becoming, when I say nothing, that nothingness. So that book I'm writing, I've already started writing. It's not that I have planned it, it has come through me.
Mm,
Similarly, an intelligence come through me. You are meant to do talks.
mm, yeah.
You're meant to do talks. So, because you're so connected to the reality, it's so
Mm,
important for you to be present and convey that reality to others. You're meant for talk. So, I am already creating the platform to step into that this year. Similarly, like, other than this, I am also doing various things to create the space. Like, listening circle is one example that we have done. The whole idea is to create a space for people so that they can be purely themselves in the presence
yeah.
or in that space. So there are many such things, and many such things which starts coming up when you are in alignment and when you're driven from the nature's force. And this is just the start. This is just the start. And various things, like, simple thing I will tell you also is, like, I used to be very pessimistic and very, I would say, the right word is, I was not very convincing about my coaching and coaching fees. I'm very clear now about three things. I only do spiritual coaching. I do only coaching for people who really want to connect to themselves, no one else. And I have changed the fees to reflect that. and I only do 1 year engagement. This is coming from where? This is not coming from eye chasing coaching. It's the
Mm.
universe
Mm.
giving the force behind. So I'm just saying, in so many different ways, it reflects in what you do and what you bring to this creation or outside. So yeah,
Mm.
just to answer, these are the few examples of what's really going to happen or happening already. Uh,
This is beautiful. Yeah. And in context to this 5 days of experience, what are the elements you recall, um, which which you would which you would suggest uh, for people to experience it if they get to experience something similar? What are the elements? What's unique in those 5 days for all the coaches?
See, one is definitely the feminine,
Mm.
to experience the feminine, because there were so many things around the pure feminine, like the dance and various things, correct, around the pure feminine was there, which is very few of us really experience the pure feminine. So it was so good to be in connect with that pure feminine, because we have to understand it's the feminine which gives the space for the masculine to be masculine, correct? So unless your feminine is not pure, is not complete, your masculine cannot flourish or grow. So one is the pure feminine that we experience through various things, correct? Love, and I'm not saying love is feminine, but I'm just saying the element of it, the way we experienced it through touch, through dance, certain dance forms. So that was something really kind of exceptional. And
Mm.
then the other thing which stood was the masculine and feminine, because it's
Mm.
it's so important, because unless you're masculine and feminine, and when I say masculine, we did a lot of activities around masculine and feminine. See, unless we don't experience that, we really cannot experience the kind of emotions we are leading with.
Mm.
You're getting it? If anger, once you understand masculine, you will clearly understand whether it is a masculine angle, which is like this, or it is a fierce anger, which is feminine anger.
Mm.
So you know where it is coming from, whether it is coming from mother's love or dad's, or it is coming from dad's non-availability. So,
Mm.
so what I'm saying is, like, that really helps you understand your emotions, feelings, and all that, because they are, end of the day, they are intertwined as masculine and feminine. So
Mm.
masculine and feminine was really important for us to understand ourselves. That's second, and the third thing, obviously, was the breath, connection to the breath, because breath as an anchor is really powerful for someone who wants to do the inner journey. Breath
Mm.
as an anchor, because when you go deep, you can get lost. So you
Mm.
need a very solid anchor which keeps you anchored while you are taking that journey of inner dimension. So breath is a very solid anchor, and we got to experience through that 40-50 minute that we did, correct, how beautiful anchor is it, and we don't get scattered or split. We can come back to ourselves even though we went to that deeper experience.
Mm.
So these were the two three things, couple, which stood out. But the most important thing which stood out for me was the time that I spent with you.
Mm.
You're getting it? Because that was the time when I was the one who was standing behind the mountain. I told you also.
Yeah, yeah.
I told you very clearly, Kapil, I am here, but I am still being here. So that
Mm.
was a very defining moment. If you ask me, if one moment, there were many fundamentally life-changing moments, but one moment which I see is that time that I spent with you, when I
Mm.
was the one who was standing behind the mountain, very small, when I knew I was thinking I was the mountain.
Mm.
But since that exercise that we did, and I kind of expressed myself, I brought my energy and let it expressed, it opened up and it creates space for the other energies to descend. which was not happening because of that.
Mm.
And just imagine from that stage wherein I was behind the mountain and where I was thinking, Kapil, I am the mountain or I am the top, to now realizing, boss, I'm not even the mountain. That is my creation. And that journey couldn't have happened if we would not have had that dialogue and that exercise. So that, of all this thing, that was truly, I would say, I wouldn't say life transforming or life changing. It is much more than that for me.
Mm.
And then
And
these of
yeah,
things happened following.
yeah. And to be more concrete, when you say behind the mountain and I am the mountain, it was coming from your highest form of expression, if I'm not wrong, right? You're connecting with that.
Yeah. It's like my highest self. Because I knew I am a mountain, but
Hmm.
I was not representing that way. I was still someone behind them. I was so small when I knew I was a mountain. I think that is where we were when we did that exercise on the second day, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
Yes. Mm.
So yeah, so that was the most beautiful. Uh, I will never forget that in this lifetime.
And I could see the clear difference I was witnessing. And then when we were into the circling, I think in the evening, and we were talking casually, and I could see the way how you were communicating. It's completely changed. I said, okay, what happened to Ranjit, my dear friend?
Yeah,
It was so much distant. I was clearly could see the shift. It's like a switch.
yeah, absolutely. It was like a rocket propulsion that it was waiting to happen.
That was so powerful.
Yeah,
And by any means, we cannot plan these things. We cannot plan. We don't know what's going to happen. I see this as a gift from the divinity, from the divine beings, from the higher energies. This is a gift. You're supposed to have received this gift, and you have received it.
yeah. It's in the energy world or in the inner world, as they say, couple. Like you can be only ready for something.
Yeah.
You can be only available for something. That is the best that you can do. And if you are, right, things will happen in the time it's meant to be.
Mm, that's so true.
Yeah. So our job is to make sure that continuously we are preparing ourselves for that readiness, for that availability. And that's our job. And as and more we prepare it, things will start descending towards us.
There was no effort there. It was like, I'm ready,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
let's see what happens. I'm just ready.
Yeah. It's like as I was telling to you and Amit, like it's about you need to be ready as a container because that's your job. And when the
Mm,
energy descends,
mm,
you are there as the container to hold it.
mm,
As long as you're ready, it will be there, it will create, it will flow through you.
mm. Beautiful. I remember, if I have to highlight some of the moments for me, it was obviously conscious connected breathwork, which was the defining moment for me. Um, because I never ever felt releasing like a little baby. Like
uh,
how the babies cry out loud.
uh,
It was like that for me.
you could release it.
I
Yeah.
could release it. Yeah, I could release it. And I see myself seeing everything as an image, an
uh,
image guy, not an energy guy. Maybe energy is there, but I see this flashes, images flashes in front of me. And during the conscious connected breath work, I see one of the image came to me as, because there was so much vulnerability, so much of crying, so much of releasing was happening during that breath work when we were lying down. And I literally felt that there is a hand here which was holding my hands.
you told me. Yeah.
And the part of me was like, conscious also, like, who is touching my hands? I could feel that physical hands. and there was no one. I knew it. And one point of time, I started feeling my the hands are coming in increasing. The volume of hands are increasing, and then my entire body is covered with the hands. And the hands are telling me and assuring me only one thing: I am there with you. You are safe and secure.
Mm.
I'm there with you, and you just be okay with that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
those sensations, those powers in me, I could feel that visually also. That hands, there was a lot of green leafy thing, and hands were there, some female male hands, and all those things, and then it was all covered with my entire body. And that was one of the profound moment, and that gave me a relaxation. Okay, you're safe. It's
Uh,
okay to feel that energy. It's okay
yeah,
to.
yeah. It's not even easy sometimes to be available for that, correct? Because our mind starts working, what is this, and starts creating meaning. So it's sometimes not easy even to just be with that touch
Yeah,
and be with it. No?
yeah, yeah. So that's one thing, and other thing was um, that self love,
Mm,
um, and self love plus the embodiment of Shiva and Shakti through that powerful presence. When one of your partner is holding the space for you, and you are just lying and receiving what's happening. So that was so amazing for me.
so you
And
would feel it. You
yeah,
would feel.
I could feel that. It took time for me to start releasing something, and it was very subtle release, but I could feel that. I could feel
Mm,
that. And that space itself was so sacred. I don't know what was that power in that space. So much of love,
mm.
unconditional love.
Yeah, yeah. Right. That's all how Saloni has created that. No?
Was so profound. And in the real world, you can't even imagine. I mean, our friend Dave, right? He has he has told me how to hug, how to get.
Mm.
I mean, like there was so much of power. I could feel that, and that's why I call him as my Hanuman. And I think you have named him as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So those experiences where we are in the real world. Can you imagine hugging someone for a minute or two? No. I mean, I don't see it practically happening.
Yeah, we don't do it. We
So
don't
you
do
are
it.
hugging to the loved ones.
Yeah, yeah, we don't do it because there are so many things that comes in between that whole thing, correct?
Mm,
Uh, we normally don't go and hug anyone. So
yeah.
true.
And
And
most beautiful experience was when you are seeing something beyond the body, beyond the gender,
mm,
right? That was so profound, and I could see that, and I had that realization that I was able to see it in few moments that I am not seeing this body, I'm seeing the soul behind it.
mm. And this was when in which
Ah, in the last day when we were doing angel walk,
mm,
during that time, yeah.
and that's so what we say that's so huge, no? To see something in that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I don't know if I may ask one question to you, is it
Yes,
okay?
yes, please go on. Yes.
Yeah. So for me, the question that is coming to me is like when Kapin came energetically, okay, like when came there, you still recollect when you landed there, you put your suitcase there. I think you were with Shavi and I guess I know with Aditi and Shavi and everything.
Ritu, yeah.
So when you landed there, when you came to that resort, how you were energetically, uh, and then when you left, because you were the first one to leave also, correct? So when you left, and you were in your car alone, I'm sure you would be able to experience what you have been and what you have become through this retreat when you were in car. So I wanted to hear from you the shift that you felt between you landing and then being in that car, being that whole self of your own. What was that shift like, and like what was the experience like? I want to hear, and maybe to some extent experience while you're talking.
Yeah, that's a beautiful question. I never thought what was that experience would look like. So I was definitely curious. You remember I called you, I said, where's the garlands? I was expecting there would be grand gala welcome and all. Where was the garland? So I was like waiting for, I was excited. I was excited for sure. I was curious. But I remember in the first day I was timid.
Mm,
And I remember many people are talking a lot of things about themselves, and I'm like, I'm holding myself. It's not like I wanted to hold, but
mm,
energetically I was not very opening up. And I'm sure it's not like somebody judging you in that. It just this is who you are, right? And then I was like closed doors, or maybe the judging yourself. Oh, they are talking like this, I'm not, something like that, right? All kind of judgments were emerging through me. And I remember first day full of energy and curiosity and the sense of judgment in me, not in somebody else but in me, right? Which is making me myself opening up and closing, opening up, doors are opening and closing, doors are opening and closing, यही हो रहा था.
mm.
तो पहले दिन तो यही हुआ. दूसरे दिन it started
So
sustaining
you
the,
can see that now. That is how it was. Yeah.
it was, and then while I was explaining I am sensing that.
Beautiful.
Second day it was happening when we were doing that exercise, it was closing, opening, but duration was opening of the door at the energy level was more and more and increasing and increasing. And I could see that the way Saloni has designed that work also was justifying that. Now if I'm talking, while I'm talking, I'm recalling those things. But by the end of the third day or last fifth day, I remember my energy was like at the top. And I remember when you hugged me, you said something very profound. And you said two times, I guess. And I have given a name, one word for everyone. And I said, Ranjit, I see you are a warrior.
Mm,
And now, now I'm, now I'm, I think, connecting with you. And you were saying Karthikeyan,
mm,
right? So this word was spontaneous. And you said to me, you are that,
mm,
right? And that was so profound and powerful for me. And I think that realization of that you are the mountain, right, and you are that, or you are this, stayed with me.
mm,
Now I'm like, होता ना 56 इंच का सीना लेके घूम रहे हैं.
mm,
So that was the kind of energy I could witness. And I remember while I was going into the car after the exit, I was continuously connected with myself, with my higher self, with at the energetic level, and I could feel that energy in me. Even in while I'm walking in the airport, I was in Goa. I was like that, and it continued even in the flight. And slowly, when I landed, I could see the dip in my energy.
mm.
I could
So
see
you
that.
could feel till then the expansiveness. Yeah.
Yes, little bit, and
Mm,
it's. I said, okay, fine. I will. I was open for that. I was open for any of the witnessing, and that was so profound. एंड आई सी यार गोवा से बाहर आ गए अभी तो लग रहा है कि वो एनर्जी की बैंड के बाहर आ गए अभी हम तो डेफिनेटली द हाई एनर्जी
difference.
environment full with nature, full with unconditional love, and that energy where nobody is judging you, everybody is giving you so much of support and cheering and unconditional love. And I literally felt that But there's one thing which stayed me. What you said is you are that,
mm,
and it became a source for me to draw that energy in me from that day onwards. And then it's already there. The mountain is already here.
yeah.
The in me is already there, and that was the kind of an experience I had.
Wow, wow. So like when I see like energetically you were so much within you when you reached there, correct? And then when you left, you could feel that the expansiveness that you are. Uh,
So there was a drop in the energy, and then the realization of
yeah.
it during this integration period. So there was a constant drop up, drop up, drop up. But I think now it's more than 1 week or
Mm.
in that, like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think I'm in the state where my energy is very much constant throughout the day.
Mm.
Not there is not dead dip, there is a dip, but the resilience is getting improved. My awareness levels are getting up and up and up.
Mm.
While I'm sitting in the car today, I had a beautiful experience going at my workplace, and then I'm like, okay, I'm in my favorite place. Car is my favorite place while driving. Why?
Mm.
Because you are just with yourself. I normally I switch off the music also, but today I just switched on the music. I don't know why. I could feel that energy coming me, waving through me, going here and there, like Lala song. Ta-na-na, la 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 la. So that was the kind of an energy I entered myself with.
Oh, beautiful. Like you could just swing yourself. So much space you had, personal space there.
Yeah. Generally, I before I enter my office, I have started a ritual. I stand outside my office to change my energy.
Mm.
That 2 minutes stop with the nature. I just see the trees around to gather who I am being right now. This is my usual practice. Today, I could not feel that need of it.
Because you were already present.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this driving has not exhausted me.
yeah. Mm.
Generally, it does, but today it did not.
Mm. So you were naturally present to yourself. You did not have to be preparing yourself. You were already present to yourself, so you could just go.
I started the same ritual after I sat in the car. I don't put my seatbelt and I just be present with myself. I feel the car. I feel the richness around. I feel I clean the environment consciously, and I sit with an intention that
Mm.
who I am being right now and who I wanted to be. And with that intention, I started my engine, and then it just went off.
Beautiful, beautiful.
That day, today also I did that ritual, but other ritual, no, it was so present. So definitely, it was a huge quantum shift. I would say
Mm.
quantum. I can feel that in my energy. And one more thing which I wanted to share, which was so profound, what Urmi mentioned after conscious connected breathwork, was this is your, it's like a, this body is like an instrument, which how much you can hold, how much voltage you can hold. And she did not mention these words, but how much, this is how I see, how much voltage you can hold. There's a lot of current happening, right? Thoughts are coming, you are interacting with consciousness, low and high consciousness and all those things, right? Sometimes you're feeling low, sometimes you're feeling high. How are you breathing? Are you even aware? So this is one profound change, I would say, this awareness of the breathing patterns in me. And I did that. In flights, I sometimes get scared when the turbulence happens. Duk, 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 upar niche. And then this time I continued focusing on my breath, and I'm like, I was completely normal. So I said, oh my god, so this body can handle this. And if I can just manage the breath, I can handle whatever I'm feeling and sensing. No stresses, no drama. And that really helped. So I've started practicing that from last 2 weeks. I think I'm consistent every day for 25 to 30 minutes. I'm doing the breath work, uh,
Mm.
the
So you are
possible.
anchoring on the breath.
I'm anchoring to the breath, yes. And that is really helping me. That is really helping.
Yeah, breath is a very solid anchor. Very solid anchor. If you anchor on it, all the other things slowly start settling and dissolving. If you really anchor as the things are arriving and emerging.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Mm.
Yeah, like when I hear you, there are so many things that, like, the whole thing about love is so important. No? I feel when you were sharing, like, to bring that element of self-love, because somewhere I also heard you were questioning yourself and all that thing. Like, from there to bring that whole element, that whole expression of self-love, it would be a huge thing, correct? It would be a huge thing, no?
I was the one which questioned, and the body I'm carrying right now too much. Like there's so much of judgment I had in the childhood about my body. ये ऐसा क्यों है, वो ऐसा क्यों है, मेरे हाथ ऐसे क्यों है, पतले क्यों है, मोटे क्यों है, like bunch of these stories and dramas which was created. But I see, I tried very hard initially. That is one more change I have experienced it. पहले struggle था, acceptance of the body. Although there was a love, there was a self love, there was unconditional love I was giving, but a lot of effort was there in really accepting it
Mm,
energetically. But now I see that acceptance is raised up a lot. Awareness and acceptance. And most important, accepting the non acceptance.
mm. That's so beautiful, huh? Accepting the non-acceptance.
Yeah. Other day, I'll give you a quick example. Uh, I was angry on my son for something and I was losing my patience. I knew this surge of anger in me was so sharp, so spiky at times. And I'm like, initially, he's like, oh my God, I hurted my son and I'm in the guilt while I'm feeling that anger. But this time, I was able to hold that space for the anger and seeing the usual pattern of guilt is coming up. And now I'm holding even that.
Mm,
It helped me in settling myself and allowing my son to settle because he was in tears. And initial self was like old self was like a guilty father.
mm,
A guilty father. How could you do that? Right? Now I'm like, okay, this happened, which is non-acceptable. Now I'm
mm,
accepting acceptable.
mm.
So that was so profound. And that really helped to release because initially anger is like getting processed and now it's like guilt is coming in between,
Mm.
right? So now it's easy without a guilt.
And like, and you said it so beautifully that you could hold them together. And the way I am experiencing that is like, they they were not, then once you holded them, they were not driving you. You were the one who were uh, what, not in the driver's seat, but who was holding them. They were not driving you, know, the guilt and the anger.
Yeah, it's true. That's so true.
ये बहुत बारी होता है ना कि they drive and then they take us to our next steps also. But what I mean is, like, you step back and holded them so well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's huge, now. Like, once we start stepping in as that presence, it brings such a big shift to the way we engage and way we uh, behave with someone else.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. Thank you for asking these questions. And this is a beautiful space for me also to
Nee,
to see what was unreflected so far. Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing. No? Like, many a times we experience it, but we really don't experience and understand the meaning that it holds for us. Now, as you said, like for your son,
Mm.
you could be a father who is different than maybe so many instances in the past.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Wow.
All right. So, last closure question: what that would look like? What's your message? What's your message to the people who would be watching this and who would be interested in doing the deep work? May not be this, maybe something else. I think somehow you have answered it already, but considering whatever we have discussed, what's your one message to all the coaches, especially all the people, especially the spiritual coaches? Because it is so profound. You said that the realization you had that spiritual coaching, like you are a spiritual coach, and I'm like telling the same thing to myself again and again. Kapil, you are that, and it's so profound when you mention that. uh, I see myself there. I see myself there
Yeah,
already.
absolutely. I see you already there.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So, what would be your message, Ranjit, to all the spiritual coaches, whatever name they can call it as a, we are just giving this name. Um, what is your one message who wanted to do their inner work? Maybe through this type of work or something else. There are plenty of work available.
Yeah, yeah. See, the one message that I have for people who are spiritual coaching or anyone who gets to listen about spiritual or spirituality is that, see, the whole essence of spirituality is not, or spiritual coaching is not to not experience the world or the worldly things. But the whole essence or whole purpose of spirituality and spiritual coaching is to experience the worldly things to their fullest.
Mm, so
That
true.
is what it is. Then
Mm,
only you can experience them to the fullest. Then become wealthy enough, but you will experience it to the fullest. So that is the difference of being spiritual, or being in the spirituality, is to experience the worldly things to their fullest.
yes, it is, yeah. This is so deep, and I'm sure this would be maybe next conversation into this world, maybe part two of this conversation. But for now, this is, I would like to end our conversation. Uh, Thank you for sharing this with me and to everyone whosoever is watching this small share. I really loved your presence, and I wish you very, very best from the bottom of my heart. May this Karthikeyan gives all its energy and power to me and to the world and whosoever is coming into that containership.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Kapil, for being so generous, for being so generous, for sharing your wonderful energy. As I've always told you, is you have such a loving energy, and you create such a loving space, Kapil. So that's so huge for anyone who wants to step into themselves. So thank you so much for doing that. And as I said to you in my message also, I just do a pranam to you, because whatever I'm going to do in 2026 is coming from that space that you have created to me on the second day of retreat. So you will see for the rest of the year, but it's all you're doing. Obviously, I was present to it, but it's the space that you created for me. So thank you so much, Kapil. Thank you so,
Yeah,
so much.
I was, I would say I was just a tool, and I, without knowing, I was creating that space. So it was meant to happen through me. So it just happened. So thank you for honoring that space.
And you rise like a mountain and say that I was the space.
Yeah, yeah, this is so powerful. Yeah.
Say that I was the space.
Mm,
You were the space, Kapil. And that's where that creation's seeded.
thank you. Thank you for that.
So much. Thank you so much for this wonderful interaction, Kapil.
Yeah, I really loved it.